Hey, welcome to the big program. We got a football guest today. That is West Mesa's running back, JaCalvin Newsom, is our guest. JaCalvin, we're glad to have you, man. You were in the news recently.
Yes, sir.
So let's start there. Channel 4, KOB, friend of the show, friend of mine, Brandon Ortega, had a pay it forward segment where obviously you were selected to play in a very special All-Star game. So tell me about that.
It was huge. It was got invited to the Blue Gray All-American Bowl, and when we found out the price and everything, they were like, okay, cool, we can get it. Well, I wanted to start fundraising and just trying to work extra to get
Well, first let's start
it.
with the Blue Gray All-Star game. That is a pretty prestigious game, right? Now, where's that played at?
That's played at the Cowboy Stadium.
Cowboy
in Dallas,
Stadium,
Texas.
Right? And I don't imagine, like, you know, no disrespect to West Mesa, but there's probably not Mustangs going to that game every year.
Nah.
No, right? So that's a big deal, right, at West
Yes,
Mesa?
sir.
And, I mean, it goes for all your hard work and everything. So when is that game being played?
That game has been played May 17th at 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your reaction when you first got that news? Who broke the news to you? How did you get the invitation?
Actually, it was through Twitter, and when they texted me telling me to fill out a questionnaire, and I filled it out, and then a couple of days later, I got selected for it, and I was like,
Right. So yeah, like you said, stuff in Dallas not cheap, right? So so your coach, Coach Anstatique, graduate of Del Norte High, by the way, hashtag Night Pride. So he reaches out to Channel 4, and basically he says, you know, I got this kid that's really special on my team. He's picked to this elite game, but we gotta start this GoFundMe because it's an expensive game, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, obviously, were you grateful that Coach did that? Was your first reaction like, oh, shoot, now my business is on Main Street? Like, what were your thoughts?
It was more like I wanted to, I mean, of course, I always want to, like, work hard for everything that I do.
Right.
And get myself wherever I need to go, but it was just a huge blessing. I'm thankful for it. I'm very grateful for it. There's nothing, no side emotions going towards it or anything. I'm grateful.
Right. So then Anthony, they get a hold of Channel 4. Channel 4 comes out, they do the pay it forward, right? And then they find two business owners who happen to graduate from West Mesa who match that donation, right? And they give it to you in practice and everything, and that's the whole pay it forward thing, right? So, like, were you, I mean, just talk about your reaction to that.
It caught me by surprise because then I saw the news clip, and they were talking about it when we were practicing.
Right.
I was like, huh. So that's what they were talking about. I realized,
Okay. Yeah, so you just thought, okay, maybe they're here to film practice for a sports show or something, and then here you go, they're handing you envelopes of money. So, you got a little bit of time to prepare for this game. Like, what goes into the preparation for a game like this?
Just focusing on the big things that I need to definitely correct, and then start focusing on the small things, biting down harder and harder on it.
Right. And how hard is it to how hard was it to prepare for this season with COVID in place?
It was tough. It was more of a just determination and resiliency, just trying to stay in the optimistic attitude towards having a football season, and it looks like it paid off.
Did you guys think you would have a season, or?
Some of us didn't think so.
What did you think?
I didn't think we were going to have a season. We turned in our equipment.
Right, so you turned in some equipment.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're used to hearing all this bad news all season, right, about red level this, COVID that.
Yes,
what was it like when you finally heard the news?
It was...
Like, did Coach Anstatique break the news to you guys, like, hey, we're going to play?
I think most of us watching the news channels and trying to see what was going on, but I heard it from Coach Anstatique.
Okay.
He was like, okay, we go play, and then all my other coaches started texting me. They're like, yeah, let's get it.
Like, were you guys all ready, or did you put on some LBs, you start eating and stuff? Or, were you pretty much ready for the season?
Whenever they canceled the season, I started just getting ready for college, just trying to start training for that. But then they gave us season. I was like, continue what I'm doing.
And so this was always gonna be a pretty special year, right? Because Coach Anstatique's second season, I believe, or third, right? Third. Yeah, I think so.
Third. Sophomore year, junior year.
Right. So his third year, kind of, you know, his systems in place and all that. So talk about how things had changed heading into this season.
Into this season, we bring a lot more energy and we fly around more. We got a lot more leadership on the team. So,
let me ask you this. COVID affects teams in different ways, and especially different sports, right? Obviously, I think what a lot of athletes on the show have said that it was easy during COVID to stay ready as an individual, right? Because you could obviously put in the work in the weight room. You could but was it harder to kind of build some of that team chemistry because you weren't allowed to be really in those big settings?
It was more of us like we would sometimes 2 or 3 of us would train, or a couple of us more would go train this place, and it would be like we all had the team chemistry. It was just we already hung out a lot already. So.
Right. So I mean, what would you think was the most challenging thing about before your season started during COVID? What was the most challenging thing for you as an individual?
Before the season?
Yeah, when you guys were still kind of in lockdown, you know, you were doing the pod thing. I mean, what was the most challenging and difficult about that?
Being sure everybody was going to be ready for the season, and
and how does that go? Like, are you one of those guys that like tells people, hey, stay ready? You know, who was leading that team?
It was mostly seniors and a lot of juniors coming in that are mostly our first team. Yeah.
Now, were there guys that you kind of had to rein in and say, hey, you guys stay ready, stay ready? I mean, did you have any of that, or were you guys pretty much all on the same page?
It wasn't pretty much all on the same page. I'm pretty sure it never is, but there's always a couple guys that you got to like keep focused until they buy in.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I have some friends that are coming in now from the Duke City Gladiators that apparently got past security. This guy actually went to Eastern, Jason Serta, Matt Avila of the Gladiators. They heard that you were coming today, and, they got something for you too, don't they?
Exactly.
Come on this way.
Little treat there, my man.
Thank you, buddy.
Of course. We want to say congratulations.
Cool,
so if you notice in there, Jason Serta put together a little care package for you. He's our linebacker for the Gladiators. Also went to Eastern, so we got some Gladiator gear in there for you.
Ooh.
There you go.
Got a sticker? Yes, sir.
We got one more surprise for you, my man.
Really?
We want to help pay your way to go to the All-Star game.
Ooh, thank you so much.
From the organization, congratulations. You worked hard. And, go do your thing. We're proud of you. We're really proud of you on doing it.
So much.
Jason, come in here for a second. Stand by. All right. So you're going to go to Eastern, right?
Yes, sir.
So your arms have to look like this in 4 years. No pressure.
I know.
That's how arms look at Eastern New Mexico.
I know.
Do you think you can get to that?
We're going to have to see. Got to keep working.
Because I think that could cover up your entire head on camera. See if you can cover up his entire head on the camera.
Sheesh.
So that's 4 years, or that's 2 years at Eastern there. Your arms got to look like that, man.
It's a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Well, we appreciate it. I reached out to
you.
Gina and the Gladiators. Jason, thanks for coming by, man. This guy's he's gonna be a Greyhound too. So thank you very much, guys, from the Gladiators.
Congrats, bro.
For helping us out here.
Eastern's a great school, man.
I've heard many things about it. Great things.
He has a better stadium than you did.
All right, so thanks a lot, guys, from the Gladiators. So,
Of course.
and actually, I have another friend of mine and a sponsor here at Proview Networks, and that's State Farm agent Greg Shamus is here as well. Shamalama, you wanted to meet JaCalvin as well, right?
I did, Greg Shamus.
Thank you.
And I used to be one of the coaches for Jason at the Gladiators. So I was a coach for them. See you guys. God bless you. Good seeing you. But Sebastian reached out to me and told me about you, sent me some film on you, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to definitely be a part of this to support you in the Blue-Gray All-Star game, and very proud of you.
Cool. Thank you.
So I also have a little gift to help you with your expenses.
It's more than
going to the game, and if you've got some left over, save it to go to college.
Yes, sir. I will. That's the plan.
And do well. What I want, because I'm a coach, right? So
yes, sir.
I want to tell you, don't let all the pressure with the community behind you. You go do your thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Always.
What you want to do is next level thinking. You've got the skills. They wouldn't have you there if you didn't have that. You just want to do next level thinking. The All-Star game's going to be a little faster, and let it come to you and make it happen.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Thank
Greg,
you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
being part of it.
Craig Seamus, friend of mine, friend of Proview Networks. If you got some insurance needs, call up Greg. Thank you so much, Greg.
I got State
appreciate
Farm.
that. Right?
I got State Farm for my car.
See, there you go.
You got a wrong agent.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go. And so, thanks a lot, Greg. Also, on behalf of Steve Davis, myself, and Josh, our director, we're going to add to that as well. Okay? So
Thank
there's
you.
some money from us, and we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with JaCalvin after this.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Welcome back to the program. Again, I want to thank my friends over at the Gladiators, owner Gina Thomas, Jason Serta, Matt Avila came by, community champions there at the Gladiators. I want to thank our friend Greg Seamus, who's a State Farm agent. He's actually a sponsor here at Proview Networks, but he's a really good friend of mine. And when I called both of them, they were immediately like, absolutely, we'll be there at 4 o'clock. So thank you guys. We're back with JaCalvin Newsom. Now, let's talk about where it all started, right? When you were just growing up, little dude in the South, right?
Yes, sir.
And so what sports kind of were you drawn to first?
When I was little, out there in Mississippi, actually, I didn't start playing sports until I went to Alabama.
Okay, so you went to Alabama,
Around
moved to
5
Alabama.
years
What did you
old.
play first?
I started playing baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the whole time I was there, I played baseball. Then we came out here, and I just did a couple, like middle school. I did like flag football
Right.
and basketball.
What were some of your like early role models, especially in sports, when you were growing up?
Role models in sports, I think when I was young, I think it was Drew Brees because
Drew Brees. Okay.
Saints my favorite team, and then I'd always watch him. I'm like, "Oof, I want to be like that. I want to be like that."
Now, did you come from an athletic family, or a lot of times we have our guests and their parents played high school this, college that, whatever. Did you come from an athletic family, or are you just kind of athletic yourself?
I think so. My mom, she played basketball in high school. And my father, he played
Okay.
basketball
All right.
and football in high school as well.
So when did you kind of hone in on football? Like, when was football always your favorite, or did you prefer one of the other ones when you were younger?
Football's always been my favorite. It's just when I finally started watching and actually playing. Well, we didn't really have the chance to play until I came to New Mexico for tackle
Right.
football, but I just fell in love with football since.
And what is it
young
about
age.
football?
I don't know. I think it's the hitting.
The hitting.
Yeah.
Coming from a pretty small dude, you've grown a lot now.
Yeah.
But actually, Josh, we have a video of you. I don't know if you remember this, but this is from about 2 years ago.
Man.
And you were pretty tiny back then, so you've put in some muscle for sure.
Yes,
But
sir.
look at this guy, man.
Oh man.
You remember that little guy?
I do.
The smile is exactly the same, which is, we'll get to that in a minute, but
Sophomore year. Sheesh.
like people have to talk to you, people have to ask you about that smile and that cheesy smile all the time, because like And I've seen you on the basketball floor when I'm at West Mesa PA announcing, and it doesn't matter if you make a bucket or a turnover, it's the same smile. Like, I love your positive vibe that's about you. That's got to be something that always helps on a team dynamic, right? Have you gotten, have you noticed that in all the teams you've been on, that people are drawn to your positive vibe?
I noticed that, yes, sir, I have. I noticed that it's more, they look at it more like leader because I like to lead by example.
Right.
And by the actions that I do, like telling them, okay, keep your head up, we good, we got this. Ain't nothing, we ain't worried about nothing right now. Let's go, keep going. I think they take a lot from that and perform.
Now, who's the one coach? I know there's got to be a coach at some point that has said, look at that pic. I mean, look at the before and after right there.
Oh, man.
There's got to be a coach where you just did something wrong that you upset so bad that had to have said, Calvin, if you don't wipe that smile off your face right now, like, who's that guy? Is it Coach Anstetig? Is it Coach McMath? Is it Coach Schreier? Is it someone else we don't even know? There's got to be a guy.
I don't think anybody's ever told me to, wipe the smile off my face. They'll come up to me and tell me, you just smile all the time. No matter what's going on, you're just smiling.
So you've never upset a coach to a point where they've said that? No. That's good. That's a good thing, right?
I probably have. Made a fumble or something.
All right, let's go to football at West Mesa. So your first varsity season, which year?
Well, full season was sophomore year.
Right. So tell me about that. You hear the news, all right, you're on varsity, you're a sophomore. Talk about that.
I was more of trying to learn the game more because it was my first year playing tackle football. And I had a pretty good running back ahead of me, Mark Garcia.
Right.
He was pretty good. And
now, when you say your first year playing tackle football, are you talking about no Yaffle in the past? Or?
Oh, no, I started freshman year.
So you didn't start playing football until you were a freshman?
Yes, sir.
So that's pretty impressive. You start football for the first time ever as a freshman. By the time you're a sophomore, you're making varsity, and you're going to play at the next level at Eastern. That's pretty damn impressive. All right, so take us back. Sophomore year, you got a good running back in front of you. I mean, how did that year go?
It went pretty good. I got a lot of playing time. I mean, season didn't went how we wanted it to, but I got a lot of experience, a lot of getting me ready for the next coming years.
And season like that, the season's over, right? You said you didn't have the year that you wanted as a team. What are some of your goals or thoughts at the end of the season? Like, what do you want to get better at, or what were your thoughts? I mean, that was your first varsity season, so what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were just needed to focus on leadership more because there was a lack of leadership, but it was more just training hard, getting better, and each and every day getting bigger, stronger, just trusting the process.
Was there ever thoughts like, man, this is rough over here at West Mesa, this football thing? I don't know if I want to, was there any of that? I mean, because you said it was a rough season. Like, what did that do to you mentally? Or were you just ready to put in the work the whole offseason?
Of course, I was just ready to put on the work, but, I mean, going through the season, not knowing what to do, being so young and unexperienced, I was like, just trying to brainstorm things to try and do, the things that we could say, just anything. But, I mean, everybody bought on in the end, so.
Right. All right, so we go into your junior season now. And so you had a nice sophomore year, junior season, and now they put you in this tough gauntlet district, right? And that's the video we saw. The video we saw was ahead of that junior season. And so, I'll be honest, they put you in that season, and we go out there to do that report, and I'm telling Adam at the time, Adam's a guy that used to work here, and I was telling him, man, Kelvin might get crushed this season in that district, But how did you guys respond to that challenge, that change of environment, where you went from a rivalry with the Trisco to now you're in a district with Cleveland and Rio Rancho, the big dogs?
Me personally, I loved it. I mean, I know we were losing and everything, but when it came down to it, I was getting plays, right, and I was showing what I could do. And
okay, but
it was
real talk. How much harder do those guys hit than everyone else? Because I see on the broadcast,
very.
It's different, right? When you get hit by a Cleveland guy or a Rio Rancho guy, it's a little different, right?
All right, very different.
Obviously, the record's not what you guys want your junior year, but you feel like you're developing as an individual player. Talk about that.
I had started working. I just started working on my craft, working at everything I could do to get better. I invite my teammates, but like, hey, let's go get some work. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And
all right, well, we're going to take a time out here, and when we get back with you, Calvin, we'll talk about this year, right? You guys kind of changed the culture this year at West Mesa, and then we'll talk about future at Eastern. We'll be right back.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
We're back with West Mesa's Calvin Newsom. We're talking about your senior year now. You guys just finished the season undefeated. I had a chance to go to that final game at Sandia. On the sideline for that. Let's talk about the year a little bit. Did you guys think you had something special going into the year?
Yeah, we knew it.
Right. And what was different this year? What was different?
It was the energy, the buy-in from all the players and the coaches. They were very different this year.
And when everything changed and the vibe's totally different, like how does that feel? Like, does it permeate everything in the program? Does that mean practice is different? The way you guys walk around is different. Pre-game's different. Like, does that shot of confidence and a new culture, does it just change everything? Talk about that.
I wouldn't say it changed everything, but
here's what I noticed as an outsider. Okay, I get to that game at Wilson Stadium. I'm on the sideline. I'm on your side of the stadium, and I see a team that expects to win. I've never seen that from a West Mesa football team before. You know, I've seen you guys. I've been at games where you guys play a Trisco, and yeah, there's excitement when you beat a Trisco. There's excitement if it's a competitive game, but there was never like a feeling before the game like, yeah, we're gonna win the game, no problem. Yeah. And it feels like that's the new energy around your team. Is that accurate? Was I reading that correctly?
That is very.
And
accurate.
What brought that about?
Just how much we've been working all the summer, and since we get shut down, we go right back to training.
Right.
We could come back up, start practicing. We get shut down, go right back to training. So I mean, most of us bought in, and it was just like we ready to go.
And how much pride do you take in that you know you're moving on to the next level, but in your last year at West Mesa, you may have been part of something very special, part of something for the future, right? You left West Mesa in a better place than you found it, I guess we could say, right? So Coach Ansatique trying to build this thing, and maybe you guys were the very first step of that. How does that make you guys feel?
Ooh, it feels great because even Coach Ansatique, he's already touched up on it a little bit. He's saying that we were the foundation because my senior class, we came in and we were like, okay, we just need some leaders and we can make this work. So, I mean, when it started with the seniors laying the foundation, like this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. The juniors coming in, buying in, saying, okay, let's get all of this done. And then everyone else following through. It was...
Right. Let's talk about football at the next level. Obviously, you're going to Eastern. How did all that come about?
I was at work when East coach Andrew McCraw, he coached me. He's an interim head coach at Eastern right now.
Mm-hmm.
He called me while I was at work, and I couldn't answer because I was making pizzas.
No, that's a good employee. Can't be on your cell phone at work.
Yes,
I wish everyone else was like that. But anyway, so you're slinging dough, making pizzas. All right.
And then when we cleared out, got all our orders out and everything, I went to go take a break, and I checked who was calling me. And it was Coach Anstey, and it said Andrew McCraw. And I was like, who is this? Coach Anstey is blowing up my phone, talking about something. Did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? I was like, let me call this man, call him back, see what's up. And I text Coach Anstey a whole bunch of question marks or something. I was like, what are you talking about? And then all my coaches started texting me.
Right.
Before I had even found out, how's the news? You heard the news? You heard the news?
And you're like, no, you're the last one. No?
Yeah. And then I called him back, and he was all, how's you doing? How you doing? I'm Andrew McCraw, and I want to offer you a scholarship. And I was like,
well, that's kind of when the you-know-what gets real, right? When your college gets paid for.
Yes.
So, and that's got to be a huge relief for your mom as well. I know that's parents do. They hear the S-word scholarship, and they are relieved. So talk about your reaction.
She's always excited. She's just so proud of me. She's always just anything that comes with football, anything on and off the field, like leadership, just me being me. She's always excited.
All right.
She was jumping up and down when she heard the news.
When did you? What part in your football life there at West Mesa did you realize, I'm going to do this at the next level? I'm going to continue to play past high school.
Since freshman year, everybody been telling me, oh, that kid's going to be something, that kid's going to be something. And I was like, okay, I haven't done anything yet, but thank you and everything. But I've always cause my dreams are NFL.
Right.
And I've always wanted to just keep going. And them telling me that, it gave me confidence. Okay, so maybe I can do these. And then I was looking as a young player, all these kids are better than me. They're obviously better than me. They're starting on varsity and stuff. So it was a lot of them just telling me my confidence building up.
Right. So you're going to go on at Eastern. You saw Jason's arms.
Yes,
so
sir.
As confident as you are, does that kind of say now you realize that, there's a whole new chapter, right? You're ready for that work? Are you excited for the journey?
Oh, I'm excited to just get the work and start.
How long until your arms look like that, you think?
That? I'm trying to see maybe 2-3 years.
2-3 years? All right.
Maybe. I'm going to work for one, though.
So we'll check back in 2 or 3 years on those arms. Calvin, man, we're all behind you. Thank you so much for coming in. Good luck in Dallas. Give us an update when you get back. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.